My mother-in-law charged my husband for raising him and demanded $5,000 a month in cash until paid off. My mother-in-law Brenda showed up with a binder full of receipts dating back 30 years. Every diaper, every meal, every school uniform my husband Stephen ever needed. Total came to $350,000. Said since Stephen made good money as an engineer now, he owed her back payments. And since I married him after college, I hadn't contributed to his success. So half his salary should go straight to her until the debt was paid. She actually calculated interest. I laughed thinking it was a joke. Stephen wasn't laughing. He said his mom had been talking about repayment since he got his first job. Every promotion meant she updated her spreadsheet. Every raise meant she recalculated what he owed. She printed invoices with payment plans. Option 1 was a lump sum. Option 2 was half his salary for 10 years. Option 3 was adding her to our mortgage so she'd own part of our house as collateral. I asked if she was serious about charging her son for being born. She said raising kids was an investment and smart parents expected returns. Stephen said nothing, just stared at his hands. That's when I knew there was more to this. Brenda started coming over every Friday to collect her payment. $5,000 a month she wanted, cash only. Said banks would ask questions about large transfers. Stephen would hand it over while she counted it at our kitchen table. Made him watch to make sure he understood what he owed. Then she'd pat his head like a child and leave. After 3 months, I was done watching my husband shrink every Friday. Started asking questions. Why did Stephen accept this insanity? He said I didn't understand what Brenda had sacrificed. What sacrifices exactly? He couldn't answer. That night I went through old photo albums while Stephen slept. Found pictures of him as a kid, wearing the same clothes in every photo for years. Shoes held together with tape. Birthday parties with no cake, just neighbor kids and juice. But in the background of every photo, Brenda had designer purses, new cars in the driveway, jewelry that wasn't there in earlier photos. Called Stephen's Aunt Rita, who lived across the country. Asked about their childhood. Rita went quiet, then said Brenda had a problem I should know about. Gambling problem. Been going to casinos since Stephen was 5. His dad left because Brenda spent his college fund at blackjack tables. Rita said Brenda got child support and welfare but spent it all gambling. Stephen grew up hungry while Brenda played slots. The receipts in her binder? Rita said to look closer. I did. The dates didn't match Stephen's age. Diapers bought when he was 7. Formula when he was in middle school. School uniforms from stores that didn't exist when he was in school. Brenda had fabricated everything. Probably bought old receipts in bulk online or altered new ones. The real cost of raising Stephen was whatever the state gave her that she didn't gamble away. I hired a forensic accountant without telling Stephen. Gave him the binder to analyze. He came back laughing. Said over half the receipts were impossible. Stores that didn't exist at the time. Items that weren't manufactured yet. Prices that didn't match historical data. The rest were probably real, but not for Stephen. Baby supplies when he was a teenager. Children's clothes in the wrong sizes. Food receipts from restaurants in different states. Brenda had compiled random receipts to create a fake childhood expense report, but the accountant found something else. Brenda had claimed Stephen as a dependent on her taxes until he was 28. He'd been living on his own since 18. That's 10 years of illegal tax deductions. She'd stolen his education credits, claimed his student loan interest, even used his social security number for earned income credit. She owed the government about $80,000 in false claims. I showed Stephen everything. He broke down crying. Said he always felt guilty that mom struggled while raising him. She told him every day how expensive he was, how much she sacrificed, how he'd ruined her life by being born. Classic manipulation from someone who spent his childhood money at casinos. We went to Brenda's house that Friday with the forensic report instead of cash. She opened the door expecting money, got served papers instead. Stephen's lawyer friend drafted them. Cease and desist for harassment, demand for repayment of fraudulent tax claims, and a restraining order for financial abuse. Brenda screamed that we couldn't prove anything. I pulled out her casino players' card statements Rita had kept, showed losses of $400,000 over 20 years, more than she claimed Stephen cost. She'd spent his entire childhood and then some at casinos while charging him for existing. The IRS got an anonymous tip about the false dependent claims. They don't play about tax fraud. Brenda got audited, owed $90,000 with penalties, had to sell her house to pay it, moved into a studio apartment and got banned from local casinos for aggressive behavior when she couldn't pay anymore. Stephen's in therapy now dealing with decades of financial guilt. Hasn't spoken to Brenda in 8 months. She sends invoices monthly but we return them unopened. Last one had final notice written in red. Final notice of what? She has nothing left to take. Raised her son on nothing while gambling away thousands, then tried to charge him for it.